Hello, my name is Duncan and welcome to Back Away from the Donkey, Bath Books, as we are calling it. And today I sort of fell into a library sale. I've sort of got a vaguely self-imposed, I'm not buying many books, but there was a library sale. I don't normally do library sales because normally the condition of the books is just sets my teeth on edge and I don't normally do it, but normally I don't have many that actually vaguely interest me. But today I came home with this bag, which I have not looked at since I got home. And once I admitted to my wife that I'd been there, I came home with more books. I thought I'd show you because it's not the sort of thing I normally do. So I've not looked at them since. They were all 10p, 10 pence, 10 Scottish pence, except for some of the hardbacks, which were £1. And there's one random one that is £2, but they were really, really cheap. And the condition of them, especially the paperbacks for so-called library books, are incredible. So yeah, some of them are replacements for books I've already owned actually, because I didn't know what condition they are. But let me start. So I'm going to grab a handful out. I'll work with those. We'll see which ones we've got. So the first one I've got here is the Druids of Shannara, Terry Brooks. I quite like Terry Brooks' Shannara series. The first book, the Sword of Shannara, is basically a rip-off, so-called, of Fellowship of the Ring, but it was meant to be, it was more like a thing. But this, so-called in a library sale, I think it's one of the first printings of this. I do own a copy of this, but I own a later copy of this. This is the 1991, this is, yeah, the first edition of it. And look at the condition. This is so-called, confused by this is in a library sale. I'm not convinced it's ever been in a library. So I've got a couple of books like this. So yes, Druid of Shannara, first book. Do love the cover. Not sure who did the cover artwork, but that is excellent. I've got one here, but I'm going to put it to one side because I have two of those. Next one I have, this is one of the hardbacks, which is £1. This is Stephen Donaldson, The Gap into Power, from the Into the Gap series, which I have never read, and I've always heard good things about. I love his Thomas Covenant books, which I have back there. And this is a... See, it's not even got any library stamps in it. So I'm a little confused. I'm very confused. There's no library stamps in this at all. When was this published? Would have been early 2000s. Into the Gap Conflict, the real story, which this was published 93, copyright 92. So yes, this was the first printing of, or first edition of, first run of as well. So yeah, I'm a little confused. And let me get back into this bag here again. A couple more to bring out. I said, normally in these sort of library sales, I never find books that sort of interest me, and said normally the condition of them, if I do find something that interests me, there's no way I'm going to buy it. So to go with that one I've just got, which I still love the cover, really on The Gap into Power, A Dark and Hungry God Arrives. I also got for £1 the Gap into Conflict, the real story, which I think, let's have a quick look here. See, this has got library markings into it. The other one hasn't. It's just saying it's withdrawn. They'd originally priced it at £2.50, so obviously it didn't sell. So I think this could be the first book in the series. Anybody who knows this series, could you tell me? I have got no idea, because if it's the first series and that one's long, I don't, yeah, might even start it. But yeah, it's a really nice condition hardback. And then another hardback I picked up as well was a Robert Silverberg book, The Alien Years. Don't know this book, but it's Robert Silverberg and it's a really nice cover, and that's got library markings in, which I say which one over there didn't have. see what this one is. I know nothing about this. I think this is the First Contact book. Don't know it at all. I do like Silverberg, but don't know this storybook at all. This is one of his later books, because first published in '98. Yeah. So yeah, it's Robert Silverberg. That's a really nice cover. I hope you can see it off the glint of the library cover that's on here. Okay. And then I've got another 2 paperbacks here. It's the ones I put to one side. One of them, this is Dynamo, which I already own. I got my original copy from 1981, and I picked it up because I thought I wasn't sure of the condition of the copy I've got. And this is a sequel, Dynamo's Loot. And these are really good sort of fantasy magic books. They're set in a Renaissance Italy, and he's a wizard's son, an alchemist, and he plays the flute. And it's by R.A. McAvoy. Did Tea with the Black Dragon, I think, was her first book, and she's also done some Star Trek novels, I think, as well. I've not read it for many years, but I actually got the sequel, which I lost in my great purge in the 90s. So it's great to have the second one of that as well. I think there's 3 books in this series. So yeah, and these are another so-called library books, but they've got no library markings into them. The page is a bit yellow because of the age. So, don't know. Okay. Now my remaining, I've got 4 books here remaining that I picked up. Some more Shannara books. This is The Wish Song, which was the 3rd book in the original trilogy, which I do own a copy of, but I think I've got a later copy, and look at that cover. I need to go through the Shannara books to find out which ones I've got. So yes, this I think, and also this is a weird size, because if you do a normal like mass market paperback size, like that, so it's almost a trade paperback size, but it looks like quality wise it's mass market paperbacks. I hate all these things in weird sizes. Got a map in the front, published 85, and this edition was printed in 85. Ah, that's a Hildebrandt cover. One of the Hildebrandt brothers covers, which were on the original trilogy. That is why that is so good. And the Hildebrandt brothers, if you didn't know, they did an original Star Wars poster. There's the one with Luke holding the lightsaber up, which is theirs. Okay, I said I do own copies of that, but I've got 2. I'm not sure which cover that. I'm pretty sure I haven't got that cover. Another Shannara one, Talismans of Shannara. This is from the Heritage ones, which the Druid one is from. I said I don't own this one at all. It's probably got lost in the purge. And this is another. These are all original released ones, picked up when released. Which I'm really confused by. Great cover. Love the cover. And the final Shannara one is the Elf Queen of Shannara. So I have all of what is the Heritage Shannara cycle, which was Druid, Talisman, and Elf Queen, or their order. That's another great cover with a dragony thing there. Obviously a woman with ample bosom, as a lot of these fancy paintings always have. So this is another one. No library markings in this at all. Ah yes, Heritage of Shannara is 4 books. The Scions of Shannara, Druid of Shannara, Elf Queen of Shannara, and the Talismans of Shannara, which I have all 4 because I've got the Scions over there. So all 4 of those. So yeah, so let's get all the Shannara ones I managed to pick up. See if we can find this. So yeah, that's bar 1 book, which I will show you in a minute. So all the Shannara books I picked. Wish Song, which is from the first Shannara trilogy. And then I've got Druid, Talismans, and Elf Queen. I said I've got the Scions, which is the first one in that set of stories. And I said I'll go through everything else and I'll show you my last book in a second. So the 2 Dynamo books, which I don't know who did the artwork on these. Yeah, Raphael is the last book in the Dynamo series. And I said Silver book, Alien Years. Hopefully you can see it through the glitter off the cover. This Donaldson, The Gap into Conflict, which I said, tell me, order of these. Is that the first book or not? I do not know. So then I've got The Gap into Power, A Dark and Hungry God Arises. Is that the same stories or what? I know nothing. I know it's meant to be good, the Gap series, but probably in the front of the book tells me something. This copy is actually a book club one, do you think? But yeah, these haven't got any. So I'm rambling again. That's got no markings, and that's actually a book club edition. And my final book that I picked up was from a local author, so it cost me more because every time we do local authors, they always charge you more. And this is George Mackay Brown, The Golden Bird, and I know nothing about this story. I've got Greenbow back there, and he's an author I keep meaning to get into, so I just picked up a couple of his books. And that's why it cost a bit more, was because it was a local author, and I've never seen this one around. And he was born and raised in Stromness, which is about 15, 20 miles down the road. 15, and the road where I used to live. And he's quite a famous Scottish author. And I said, I've got Greenbow. Yeah. I've got Greenbow here, which I picked up a while ago, which is the film Local Hero. Apparently, it was loosely based on an idea from here, even though from Greenbow. That's what I've heard, but I could be wrong. But that one obviously I didn't pick up today. So yes, so that is my dirty secret. I've had to admit to my wife. I picked up all these books and I don't know where I'm going to put them. And I shouldn't really be picking up more books at the moment because I've got plenty here. But yes, so that was a quick off-the-cuff video, and I hope you're interested. If anybody knows anything about the Into the Gap series, I'd love to know more because I don't know much about it at all. Because I've read Stephen Donaldson's Thomas Covenant, which I really like. Mordaunt's Deed is really good, and The Mirror of Her Dreams. There's a set of short stories of his that I really liked. Because I always remember one about genetically engineered animals that people were hunting, but they weren't telling them they were hunting. And I always remember a line there, and somebody was saying, "Hooray for the lions and tigers." I think that could be in Mordaunt's Deed. Don't know, but there's a set of short stories of his, which I've got somewhere, which has got that one in it. But yeah, I'm at the rambling stage, so I'll probably be rambling too long, and I will go off now and find out what I'm doing with this lot. Thanks very much, and I will speak to you all very soon. Oh, by the way, I should have some more meaty videos about in-depth stuff on books. I'm going to do probably a separate video rather than a pick and mix video, which this could have involved in, on my reading of Don Quixote, which I'm finally got around to. I'm about 2 weeks late, but I've decided I might do some little snippet videos just talking about the bits I've read around it, because I'm absolutely loving it. But anyway, enough of that. I will leave you all now, and I will speak to you very soon. Okay, bye-bye.